of the edible?
Best-selling flavors is interesting.
Is it the blue one?
It's the blue raspberry.
It's always the blue one. It's like Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah,
It's the favorite.
So
Skittle.
It is the blue raspberry, but what's interesting is our bestseller, contrary to what the industry standard is our blue raspberry indica, where the industry actually skews towards a sativa.
Really?
Yes.
I did not realize that.
Mm-hmm.
You learn something new every day.
That's right.
Fuck yeah. Okay. So were y'all like, oh, we're dominating the edible game, or was it we wanted to expand into new markets and dissolvables was the next one? Or was it drinks was an option? Were we talking possibly chocolates? Like, what was it? What curries your favor? Like what you like?
So in the beginning, it was really us just looking at the market and saying, okay, gummies are probably the obvious option here. Back then, unlike today, there were probably 7 companies, where now there's probably like 40
68,
or so,
yeah.
and growing. All the California guys are jumping into Colorado currently, and other states' leading brands are as well. But to start, honestly, we just saw the market. We thought there could be more gummies on the shelf, and that's what we wanted to attack. And it took off pretty substantially compared to our courier company, where we were driving 60 pounds of cannabis across the state for $20. But
it was the stories along the way.
It was the stories along the way.
And the friendships you made.
Yeah, by the 4th time getting pulled over. Actually, in Colorado, they do pull you over for driving in the left lane. So.
Oh, were you just
PSA.
hanging out, chilling like a villain over there?
Yeah, it's funny.
With a bunch of fucking doja in your car?
I had
driving the speed limit, and they're
one
like,
of those famous I-70 drivers.
Yeah, I had to. I could have been on I-70, the Instagram. But it's funny. I was looking at my rear view, and I haven't locked in, and I haven't. At the time, I was delivering for Keith Cola, and we were the coolest delivery guys out there with Toyota Siennas, also public service announcement.
The van?
Yes. Every time I pass one, I'm like, now that's a van. You know what?
Those things will run for 300,000 miles.
They do. In 07, they went to the timing chain, and they are the only minivan that is all-wheel drive. So.
Kip, if you wouldn't mind, we'd like to use the rest of this podcast talking about minivans and Toyota Siennas.
To be honest, I'm cool with that. Let's talk about power rank top 3 sexiest minivans to drive in today's day and age.
Toyota Sienna, Honda Odyssey.
What about the Dodge Caravan?
No.
I like the square body
we did
over
hire
the
a driver who had one with a race car exhaust on it, and he'd pull into the garage just like wop, 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 wop. And then it was a blue old Dodge Caravan. So pretty funny.
Those are the ones I was thinking, like the OGs and the Astro van. Do y'all remember the tall old ones? I'm not thinking 90s versions. I'm obviously not thinking of today.
I'm actually a fan of the Astro van. They don't make it anymore, but it was also all-wheel drive.
Do y'all remember the vans that had like the captain seats in the back and they had the TV
That's a Chevy.
No, that is perfect for what we're talking here. Long road trips, the gyrating captain's chairs, perfect for smoke sessions, and it was very hospitable how you could kind of like walk and almost even stand up as a middle-aged child.
I believe a shag rug was an option.
God, you really are a careman.
The 83 had the blue shag.
I mean, what car didn't in 83?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to cover a lot of ground when you're an entrepreneur, Kip.
You're a man of many wise words. This episode's going to go hilarious the rest of the way. You did mention something earlier, and it was something about how brands from California are coming in and how the national, it's starting to become a little bit more, people are more aware. And one thing it made me think of is you've seen these gummies and these edible companies that have played off of the likeness and image of those candies we just mentioned, and then we just saw a lawsuit in the last week, High Times report. Do y'all worry that something like this is going to impact the whole industry across, or is this a one-off where we're starting to see Nestle and other people like stomp down on these small proprietors and these larger?
I mean,
to set themselves up for possibly the future.
I have seen in certain markets where, if you name your candy Skittles with a Z and compared to whatever the actual candy is, I think it's appropriate that they're coming after them.
No, I get it. That would be a quick C&D if I was to make a T-shirt of it. Like the
sure.
Masters busted my balls a couple of years ago on our sports website that we were running. We were selling Masters T-shirts, and they were like, if you don't take these down in the next 5 minutes, we're going to sue you until we own your website.
And they meant it.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around.
I think the easiest answer, Kip, is that, for us, what we actually care about is long-term viability of our products. We want to be compelling 5-10 years down the road, and I think, if you're Skittles with a Z or whatever, or the picture is just Skittles with a pot leaf mixed in or whatever, then you're probably just more looking for the short-term income or cash grab, and that's just not super relevant to us, and it's not really something we're ever going to worry about. Those people will always be there. They'll always be doing their thing, but we're just going to focus on us and make sure that we're going to be still compelling a decade down the road.
I like it. And, one way to do that is by expanding not only,
it's true.
your shelf, but, what y'all provide to the customers as well. And what better place than in Colorado where we are a little bit of a saturated market. And, you spoke of competition and things, but that's because, we are kind of like, I think, an incubator of how it should properly be done in the country. California fucked it up in the early 2000s. Yeah. Oregon has mass-produced and oversaturated the value of the product. Canada's done something similar, and how they have fucked up their system. Do y'all have faith in what's going to roll out, like when y'all are going to the next state, or what's going to happen with? Every federal government that we've had over the last, since I've been, cognizant, fucks up everything they touch. It doesn't matter which party; it's the same shit on a different shoe. Yep. Are y'all worried that by them meddling in what is already just a state situation and it going federally legal, that's an issue? Or
it's always going to take a lot of our thought, always, and it's something that we spend a lot of time thinking about. But it's not really something to be confident or worried in. I think the answer is just to remain flexible in your approach. So. It can go a lot of different directions at the federal level. Again, at the end of the day, we feel like as long as we focus on us and put a bunch of kick-ass products like Ebb out into the market, the rest will take care of itself. We just got to stay flexible otherwise.
Hey, I like that. Well, let's talk a little bit about Ebb. Y'all have a little bit different of a product line than the TasteBudz. I want to know a little bit about it because I tried the Pure first. A little bit sweet, and then I tried the second one, the orange mango.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you fucking what, guys. That is a perfect little mix. And, we've talked about it. Edibles are perfect in addition to the pen, in addition to a bowl, in addition to getting in the car and going to dinner. Like it's an earlier thing. You set it in motion and it goes. That one I would just drink with breakfast every fucking day. Like
it's
that's it doesn't need anything else. It's a 10 milligram little boost. It has a delicious flavor and it tastes like it tastes better than Tang.
Don't forget about that vitamin C. And a nice boost of immunity.
It's more than just a flavor kit.
It's emergency. Wait, please tell our listeners. I don't fucking read the labels. Tell our listeners a little bit about this.
The orange mango is immunity support. So they each stick pack has about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C in there.
So it is an emergency with THC in it.
We did not say that.
Compare. So to your previous point on the Skittles, I will not compare it to.
Well, I can say things like that. Y'all don't have to, but that's a fucking genius idea. Is that the only one that we're working with?
No, even better.
No, yep. We got electrolytes and the wild berry.
Wait, so how many flavors are we working with, guys?
We've got 3 flavors, and then Pure, which is you called it sweet.
It is a little sweet to the taste.
Yeah,
like when you mix it with water?
It's got a natural base, which is erythritol.
Okay, go nerd on me. Come on.
Erythritol is a sugar alcohol, so it doesn't hit the glycemic index.
Okay.
So it's friendly to people who are diabetic.
And our other flavors, we got pink lemonade, which is like Pure. It's just a standard THC consumable. And then the wild berry is electrolyte enhanced. So this is your hiking buddy. Or, Kip, did you have a couple mezcals too many the night before? Wild berry's got your back in the morning.
Oh,
kick you back into gear.
It won't say hangover remedy, but it gives you, it's in the words of Dale Doback, it gives you the tools for you to succeed.
Take the horse
what
water.
He said.
So are they all dissolvable? You just mix them with a cup of water? Is that as easy as pie?
Yeah, I mean...
Can you throw them right on the tongue if you wanted to? Not really? Dissolvable?
You could.
Yeah, 3 grams of material.
We don't really want you to.
Okay, hey, it's all right. We oftentimes joke that, we'll snort a rabbit if we can find a way to chop it up small enough. So I just wasn't sure what the rules are with Ebb.
I've not heard that expression before.
True pioneer, Kip. It's mostly to dissolve into your water.
That's what my lawyer says.
But very nice. Guy's a professional.
That's called bringing it back.
It's primarily to mix into your water, but I'll tell you what, something like wildberry in your smoothie hits hard. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right.
And pure can go in just about anything you could ever think of. Whatever you want is now your edible. So sky's the limit. Don't just think about water, but it's kind of the go-to. And think about your everyday consumer who doesn't have a bottle of water in their car, and who wouldn't want that to be a orange mango ebb if they had the option.
That's a good point. So let's give a little insight. We've been doing this episode for 25 minutes. Where can we find, I said Live Well, which everyone knows I'm a fan of. Where else can we find these all along the Front Range Mountains? Tell us a little bit about where people can try the new Ebbs. One of y'all had to have memorized this. You knew it was coming. Y'all the list.
No, this is, Kip said this would air when? So today we did a limited release with Native Roots, who's been a great partner to us over the years prior to my time as well. And so did a limited release with them for the month, and we're collecting feedback, making sure everything's just as we wanted. And I think consumers are going to see a much broader rollout over the course of this month here. So stay tuned. We'll be keeping everybody aware. You can follow Drink Ebb on Instagram. We'll make sure everyone knows the second is in every other store in Colorado.
Wait, time out. I'm getting OG release information right here. Folks don't know about this shit? Man. What's up? Fuck yeah. Well, so shout out to our friends over at Native Roots. Head up nativeroots.com. You can see they have a dispensary list. You can check them all out on Weed Maps as well. For the whole month, it's Ebb, E-B-B, period. And trust me, you're going to see the packaging when you walk in. I feel like, oftentimes I buy wine by the label. This is probably going to appease not only the house mom that wants to make that smoothie and possibly add a little fluff to it, but also just this is a Saturday vibe in the summertime if I've ever seen one. 100%. Hiking or sitting on a lake. Yep. So I'm disappointed y'all didn't ask me for feedback, but I'm giving it to you right fucking now. I like the orange one more than the pure. Just based off of flavor, the packaging does very well.
So I will tell you.
Take it to the bank, guys.
The packaging actually was sustainability focused as well.
Elaborate, please. What does that mean?
The industry is pretty notorious for single-use plastics. We kind of wanted to edge away from that, and Ebb is the only piece of plastic on this is this button right here. So, which underneath it is only a little kind of wider than the actual button. So the rest of it is cardboard, and then on the side of the actual packaging we have a repurpose. So you'll see that the repurpose on there changes.
I'm not a reader, guys, but luckily for us, they did it in pictures.
Just read the icons.
Hey, thank y'all for also knowing that I'm not a reader. I appreciate that. That is cool. I didn't actually realize that. So you can literally, it's about the size of the grip of a baseball bat. So you could put like a fucking toothbrush in it. You could put a flower in it.
Toothbrush? Yep. You got the toothbrush on one of these.
Oh, really?
We have a laboratory. Yeah, he saw the icon. We have a laboratory partner that I think is actually having a small grow off in the tops of these. So,
that's a pretty cool idea too. To see who can just.
It's all about upcycling. It's up to you, man.
Upcycle.
Oh, look at y'all! A bunch of Florida guys coming up here and thinking
we
global.
love our oceans.
Saving the sea turtles one piece of plastic at a time, man.
Free the mahi-mahi. Free the mahi-mahi.
We call them dolphin, though.
Oh, well, y'all need to see more Pauly Shore movies. It's okay. All right, guys, so we've learned a little bit about Ebb. Tell folks again what your Instagram tags are for, obviously, TasteBudz, but also the new Drink Ebb.
So TasteBudz is TasteBudz Edibles, plural.
That one's pretty – everyone knows this brand. I mean, they slap.
I've been in the Colorado market for enough time to know, but – Drink Ebb is the Ebb Instagram, and then drinkebb.com. And if you go there, you can actually find the closest Native Roots to you that's carrying Ebb right now. So.
Hey, look at that. Bada bing.
Yep.
All right. Y'all ready to get into the hard-hitting shit?
We're ready.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. So every week we like to ask our questions for our guests. Take off the work shirts. These are just personal questions. You're new to town. You've been here for a hot minute. So we're going to get the lay of the land we're going to judge you by where you go out and what you eat and things of that nature.
Fair enough.
So our listeners are going to see if y'all actually have good or poor taste right here. Let's start with, it's been a long day in the salt mines of eating edibles. Where do we go have a happy hour cocktail when we get off work, gentlemen?
Man, well, I think if we were just in the lab tasting edibles, it feels a little work-related. We are both Highlands located, and so I'll tell you what, man, we find ourselves sitting at the table at Pastino's way too often.
Dude, okay, so I was wondering, I was like, this could be very judgy. I mean, the Highlands is a loaded great spot. What a patio, vibes, people watching.
Yep.
And then the 5 before 5 selection. Shout out to our friends over at Postina. I don't know what time y'all work until, but for those that are there before, if you have Kip's hours, the 5 before 5, every wine is $5 by the glass. It's great. So that's a great call. I like that. Good fucking luck, Brooks. Dalton just kind of threw it out there. He named a past guest and a regular contributor to our donation.